speech, I suppose. But before I launch into this, you had made reference to, and Suzette asked me about, formation committee subcommittees that are happening, such as the Los Angeles Poverty Department. I just happened to be in a meeting one day, and we talked about, well, we should have an arts committee. And so there's kind of this, like, not fully formed arts subcommittee of the formation committee.
Yes.
So, and then OG mentioned we need maybe a planning committee too. So that's happening, but again, there's no rule book. So jump, get in where you can fit in, I guess. Talk to General Jeff. Okay. So my name is Catherine McNenny, and I've been a resident here since 2010. I live at the Little Tokyo Loft on San Pedro Street next to the Downtown Women's Center. I have spent several years involved with the Downtown Los Angeles Neighborhood Council, and I briefly chaired the D-Link Parks Committee in 2013. While I found experience educational about city government, I was ultimately frustrated with the lack of urgency the D-Link board has about issues relating to Skid Row. I repeatedly witnessed the D-Link board marginalize Skid Row residents and their very valid concerns. Underlying the lack of concern that D-Link has for Skid Row is, in my opinion, a severe misunderstanding of our community and also ignorance of the realities and complexities here. Skid Row has suffered under the thumb of the D-Link, and it is time for residents who have been putting in work to have a more direct connection to city government through a Skid Row Neighborhood Council. I also want to share with you that I am ready to put in work with you all. D-Link currently has 1 resident seat for Skid Row. Soon they will up it to 2. And they'll tell you that this is enough. I'm here to tell you that it's not enough. And the reason it's not enough is because we need true and independent voices of our residents, and here's why.
40 seconds.
There are no protections in place for these Skid Row resident seats to be saved for actual residents. What I mean by this is that employees working for Skid Row Housing Trust, or SRR Housing Corporation, or the Midnight Mission, or the Union Rescue Mission, or any other nonprofit that houses or shelters people here can run for those seats. This, in my opinion, is just plain wrong. One thing I know, and I am still learning, is that many here have serious issues with their living situations. In other words, renters should not be represented by their landlords. This is unethical and a conflict of interest. Of course, the dozens of large not-for-profit organizations and social services are part of our community and should and will have appropriate representation within the Skid Row Neighborhood Council, but these seats must be separated. The social service providers, not-for-profit organizations, and shelters already have the ear of local city representatives through their monthly Los Angeles Central Providers Collaborative meetings. Residents of Skid Row are not invited to these meetings to voice our concerns about our neighborhood. Independent voices must be heard and have been pushed aside for too long. Thank you.
Brother Deacon Alexander.
Congratulations on your election tonight. I am prepared to facilitate a rules and bylaws committee for this newly formed organization, and I'm willing to do that at your call and your appointment. We recommend tonight, not elected, appointed only, according to Secretary, for all and upcoming meetings.
Excellent. Thank you, Brother Deacon. Red.
Let's keep it simple. Like I said, the veterans deserve everything and more. But as far as $1,000 a month, let's be real with it. What's going on? Who got $1,000 a month down here in Skid Row? Let's just keep it simple. When they say city, wow, it really means shitty, don't it?
Yes, they do.
I'm gonna keep it simple. Hit you right in the gut. Ready for it? So here we go back. I'm gonna do it one more time. Community. Boy, I tell you, it works every time. It's them numbers and them voices of the community that make things happen. What? Hold on. For the community. And without us, there's nothing for us. Wow, check the city. Veterans, it's beautiful to do the veterans. That's a playoff. We're gonna help the veterans. But them homeless, that's your city you're living in. Thank you.
To keep it simple and real, this country was built off the backs of our people. So it's not that I'm opposed to veterans getting their just I just want to keep it simple and real in the simple fact that these United States of America was built off the back of our people, and we are still trying to get our payback. Keep it simple.
Hold on, Don. You got Tony. Hold on for a moment. I just want to say, through our efforts in Skid Row, we've actually built a lot of allies across this region, across this state, across this country, and around the world. A lot of people are watching us and pulling for us. Even with the Skid Row Neighborhood Council coming together, a lot of people that are pulling for us. And right now, I just want to take the time to recognize one of them. She's been sitting in this room this whole time, just listening to our energy. She is a newly appointed commissioner on the Mental Health Commission. Her name is Sharon Lau. Commissioner Sharon Lau. Can we get a hand with Sharon Lau?
I want to say thank you for allowing me to be here tonight and feeling a part of the community. And I want to say that I'm here so I can make the issues known for the Mental Health Commission and to the Board of Supervisors of the need, because they really want to understand, and we can get this moving. And I'd like your assistance by attending the commission meeting the fourth Thursday of each month. There's some brochures I lost left here on the table, because without you, we can't do this, and I can't do it alone. So I need the support of the community, and I feel like I'm a community member. So thank you.
We have other people down in there, don't
It's very probably the last time I say anything tonight. But I actually came tonight for the specific fact that I was here back in 1999 when the city charter was voted on to create neighborhood councils. I was one of the very first people from Skid Row, very first elected person. I was actually elected, brought to the Community Redevelopment Agency City Center redevelopment project there, where I negotiated 1,700 units of SRO type housing in that plan, of which you're seeing a lot of fruition of it now being built. The issue is, for me, is that I believe in the First Amendment of the United States of America. As a veteran, that's what I fought for. I believe that people have a voice. People can speak for themselves. I believe that even though we may suffer with a mental illness, even though we may suffer with an addiction, even though we may suffer with recovery of both, and maybe we are newly diagnosed, I also firmly believe that we have a voice. We don't lose our First Amendment right just because we happen to be poor, just because we happen to be black, just because we happen to be brown. We don't lose our voice. This community must have the opportunity to have self-determination. And tonight, the reason I'm here tonight is because as one of the very first people to bring Central City East, of course with General Jeff, rightly so, this is what we wanted, that's why we called it Central City East. We wanted community members to make that decision, to make it, call it Skid Row. And so I wanted to continue, and I'm putting my chips in, and I'm putting my voice in, I'm going to put my feet in, that I want to see a Skid Row Neighborhood Council come to fruition, and you can do it. Nothing is impossible.
Well, the gentleman over there, I know him, but I forgot his name. But he already said what I wanted to say. We got to come together as one, and we have to go forward. It's for everyone, no matter what color you are. We down here on Skid Row, so Skid Row is here to stay.
Okay.
Thank you. I've been here a little while myself, dealing with these issues, Charles Porter. And we were working way back in the day with charter reform when they were starting neighborhood councils. And one of the principles I think that got lost in the mix was that the neighborhood councils were formed to increase participation for people that weren't participating in the civic process. And when we talked with people from Dunn when it first started, they told us Skid Row was the ideal community for a neighborhood council. And but there was a lot of political, tug of war, and a lot of the service providers wanted to sit at the table with the developers and changing downtown. And we had votes back then in the 90s, and folks was like, but the people in the programs, the residents, their voice was always pretty much silent. You know, and that's something that a principal we gotta look toward upholding with the Skid Row Neighborhood Council, making sure he always has a voice, and that the goal is to increase participation for people that aren't participating, and that the board is reflective of the neighborhood, which is another thing, because people talk about race don't matter, this and that don't matter, but it does matter when you're not being represented on the board. And so we got to make sure that that's in place, because the neighborhood council is really to increase health and wellness and participation in the community.
So let me just interject quickly and remind everyone that we have letters of support. You can't take them with you, but just to see, we've got support from the residents. We've got support from the nonprofits. We've got support in Skid Row, outside of Skid Row, the Arts District, even as far away as Sacramento and Sunnyvale, California, which is near San Jose. We've got more letters than that, but that's just where you can just actually look and see for yourself. You know, we've got support from 20 other neighborhood councils that we've reached out to. There is not, you know, because that's only because we've reached out to 20. There are actually 96 neighborhood councils across the city, and we're actually going to contact, and since we got time till next October, we're going to contact every last one of them just to see how they feel, even if they say no. Because we know the majority, we want them all to know we're here and we're not going away. So we've got 20 neighborhood councils, including Echo Park Neighborhood Council, Silver Lake Neighborhood Council, the Historic Cultural Neighborhood Council, which is a consortium combination of the Arts District, Little Tokyo, Chinatown, View Heights, and Solano Canyon. So we've already got support from them. We got support from South Central Neighborhood Council, Watts Neighborhood Council. SLANC is the South Los Angeles Alliance of Neighborhood Councils, and those are 15 neighborhood councils in and of itself, from the Watts Neighborhood Council to Central Alameda, Mid-City, and on and on and on. So we've got a lot of momentum going, and let's, you know, not drop the ball on this. You know, and you know, he asked to remain neutral, but I just want to put it out there because I really appreciate this guy, because he's been there supporting Skid Row for a long period of time, and that's Russell Brown. Russell Brown, when I first got to Skid Row, he was the president of the Downtown Los Angeles Neighborhood Council. You know, he later then became the executive director of the Historic Corp Bid. He worked with OG and us to give us inclusion in terms of downtown art walk. You know, he let us play our music. He let us put our art walk up. He let us bring our culture to the art walk. There was a point in time when Cadillac was wanting to sponsor the entire downtown art walk, and it was Russell Brown that made the decision, said to show them the true culture of art walk and downtown. They put us in the lot where the new Genesis is now. Remember, it was the old Genesis, and there was a parking lot. They put Cadillac on one side of the parking lot. They put Skid Row Artists Collective on the other side, fronted by OG, doing whatever we wanted to do. And Cadillac fell in love, and they were ready to commit. And with to start with $50,000 a month to run that walk. So I just want to acknowledge Russell Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a hand. Russell Brown. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Russell is also, and he constantly staying on me, in any consulting, any advice that you all need in terms of neighborhood council, I'm willing to help. You know, and that's what we talk about. It's not just us at Skid Row. We got folks outside of Skid Row that really want to help, and it's not about, you know, picking, choosing sides. It's just about the fairness in the country that I live in America. So I just want to say that. Here we go, Tom.
I think it's great that a lot of issues being raised, and I totally want to respect the educational process of people undergoing, they're happening tonight in terms of how does the neighborhood council being formed, what is the Skid Row Neighborhood Council Foundation do? All of that's important, so I'm not trying to like grab this and throw it in a whole other direction, but I am. The thing that has been weighing on me for the past 10 days that I'm extremely disturbed about, and I had a conversation with someone 4 days ago who moved down here in 2009, lived at 7th and Los Angeles Street, and remembers one of the major El Nino storms from 2009, getting up and you could not recognize the difference between the street and the sidewalk. Los Angeles Street was nothing but water. And other reports are saying This El Nino is going to be worse than 2009. In addition, there's more people on the sidewalk. That means more trash. That means a greater clogging of the storm drains. I have not heard a city elected official, a city agency, a county elected official, a county agency talk about the unique vulnerabilities of Skid Row in relationship to El Nino, and this is supposed to be showing up in a couple of weeks. So I don't know about taking a vote or writing a letter, but this is, to me, this is the most scandalous, shocking thing that I've certainly witnessed in 3 years. I don't know what to do about it, but it's freaking me out.
Okay, let's examine that. Let's be clear. So exactly what you're saying, us possibly writing a letter about what specifically?
Well, obviously the city is not looking at Skid Row in terms of the impact of El Nino, given the unique situations of Skid Row. The county is not, or if they are, they have not made any public statement. So if any ideas, call for help, solutions, people fucking pissed off, if anybody's going to say anything right now, it's going to have to be from this, because no one else is talking about it. The media is not talking about it. No one is looking at this thing. And if the weather reports are true, it's showing up in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm not trying to freak people out, but we might be on the verge of the biggest disaster that Skid Row has ever seen.
Okay. While I can't speak on behalf of the city or the county,